We have snow. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Wow.
Here we go. We're launching live on YouTube. Great to be here with all of you on Thursday. It's February 2nd, 2022. So, and it's beautiful that did I say second? I meant to say third. I meant to say third. In my mind, I saw third, but I was thinking about how gorgeous that date was, 2/2/2022. But yes, thank you for correcting me. It's February 3rd. Thank you. I have it, like I clicked on the little thing where it shows you the date. And I said, anyhow, it's beautiful that all of you were talking about the snow, because I was like, what should we talk about? What should we talk about? And here in Texas, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can show you my backyard here. Let's see. Let's go. We'll go right here.
See that backyard.
So let's see if y'all can see the snow on the ground. Can you see it?
Wow.
And on the rooftop, it's not a lot, right? It's more ice than snow. Let's see if I can get the houses. Can you see the houses that are white in the back there? And so it's funny, y'all were sharing stories about how the snow affects and what it does. Eddie was saying people don't come to work. They shut down the schools here, so all the schools are closed. And everybody's just home. And Patricia was telling me,
they shut Dallas down yesterday. Said nothing for Thursday and Friday. Before
they shut down Friday too. Oh wow! Yeah. I'm not sure about Friday yet. I didn't get any notifications. I actually don't even know where my phone is. But it's funny because I was talking to a bunch of students last night. One in Ohio, same thing, shut down, closed. That's like north of where I am. And the other one, where was the other one from? I want to say it wasn't Virginia, but it was someplace also down south and not up north. So it was like across the country, they've shut down, areas. And I thought that was just so amazing. And I think it's a great, topic for us to talk about. First of all, I want to say, because I can't not say, Patricia, welcome. Good to see you. We've missed you.
Thank you.
And we have Susan here. Great to see you, Susan. We've missed you too. And Crystal's back. Hallelujah. Good to see you, Crystal. Eddie's here, all is well. Never the same without you, Eddie. So good to see you. Jay's here. And Anne, good to see you, Anne. Catherine's here. Here's Scott Kelly. Scott, today you need to say something because you've been on, but you haven't been saying anything. So, it's not the same. So today, rev it up. And so you can participate. I'm talking about Scott Kelly. Melinda's here. Good to see you. LaDon, welcome. Good to see you, LaDon. Welcome. Rima's here. I hope you saw that email that I sent you this morning and that helps. Terry's here and Scott Barker is here. Great to see you. Alec, camera on today. Fantastic. And we got Sarah and Deborah. Hey, Deborah, where you been? We've missed you too. Good times.
I've been here, but I've been busy.
Okay. Yeah, there was maybe Deborah without a camera.
Sometimes I have to miss off. Yeah.
All right. And Scott made it. Our third Scott made it. I don't know your last name, Scott, so that's why I say it that way. Karen, good to see you. Karen Jones. Joseph's here. Amber's here, the wonderful Amber. Gail and Iris and Anne. And Carol and Marion and Pamela and Evelyn and Allison and Sarah's here. And we've got more coming online and more numbers here that I cannot say the names. There were a couple of students that said they will show up. I said I would look for the names. Don't see y'all here yet. So maybe as we move along. So coming into our topic, as I was contemplating, okay, what should we talk about, for our family, and we're here in Texas, right? It's all the excitement. So you wake up and there's this just calm, you're looking out and it's just like that white, the snow, the calm, there's nothing you need to do, right? That has that kind of effect. And then the excitement for the kids, right? I have 4 kids. Everybody's super excited to get out into the snow. My 2.5-year-old, she's like, let's go throw snowballs. I don't even know how she knows that we're throwing snowballs, right? But that's what she wanted to do. And then lo and behold, you walk outside and it's actually ice. So there are no snowballs that can be thrown. But that excitement and that experiencing of something new that comes to an area. And I know Patricia was sharing how, everything kind of closed down and people get really hectic in shopping and what we had here last year. I even gave warning. I was like, last year we lost power, we lost internet, we lost phone. hopefully I'll be here and online. If I have to do it from my phone, I'll do it. But here we are and everything is fine. So, just this reminded me, this whole idea of snow and of that white color that just colors everything really reminded me of the ideas of the stages of alchemy. And I'll explain that in just a little bit. One of the stages of alchemy, of transformation, personal transformation. I'm just going to go ahead and mute. You all can always unmute yourself. And this idea of alchemy. So that means you're changing. You're transforming something into something else. You're taking matter and transforming it to something else. So usually, they would say transform lead into gold or whatever, right? You're transforming. This process of transformation. One of the processes of this alchemization is whitening. And, it starts with the blackening, which is basically, you're looking at your shadows, you're looking at what's going on inside and whatever you need to kind of conquer and look at. And then the whitening is a period of cleansing. It's a period of, you can relate it to a strict diet that you go on, or a fasting period, or something that is very cleansing and stripped things down to the basics. And I think that this is very relatable to times like when it's snowy or there's a storm around or something like that, right? We kind of narrow what it is that we want to do, even in places like, I know our friends in Canada are laughing at us right now. What do we have? We have a little covered of ice, and it's pretty ridiculous. But our friends in Canada also, like Amber, she'll before she heads out, she'll make a choice. She'll think, okay, do I really need to head out in this snow or in this blizzard, right? I had a friend in Colorado, and we were organizing something together. And so she's like, okay, well, there's this blizzard coming around, and I'm not going to be leaving my house during this blizzard, but I will definitely step out after. So we make these choices, right? When conditions are not best or optimal, okay, we make choices and we minimize. We really distill. That's a good word for this period. This whitening. We distill things down to what matters most, what needs to get done, what are my have to have things, right? Patricia was talking about people in the grocery store. What did everybody have to have? Do you remember last year and all the battle with the toilet paper and all the craziness? Okay, so everybody needs toilet paper, it seems. Like so you have to, really dig deep. And so, here we go. So, when you take that internally into yourself and this journey of whitening, of distilling what matters most to you, this period of really coming inwards and taking note, what feeds my soul, what does not, right? If we go on a specific diet, and I'm not saying diet, lose weight, I'm talking about some kind of restriction in our diet and what we eat, in order to realize different patterns. So oftentimes people, if they want to check, are they allergic to something, they will pull things out of their diet and check and see their reaction. Susan's already excited. This is good. And so, and so when we start to observe ourselves under these different circumstances, so if in turn we talked about diet, maybe some people will just take out the soda, or they'll just, drink more water and see how their body works. And for others, it'll be, okay, we're going on a no sugar, no wheat, no dairy, no nothing. And they'll check and see how they react. Here in the low-hanging system, we ask you for different types of diets. We say, okay, move yourself away from negativity. Detach yourself from anything that can really pull you and drag you down. Oh, and you've been on a vegan diet for 3 weeks. Beautiful. Yeah, we're vegetarian in the house. So that's how we live. And oftentimes we do all kinds of different types of dietary plans, or juicings, or celery juice, or whatever. Anyway, so coming back to the low-hanging system, in the low-hanging system, we ask you to, remove yourself from negative energy and shut off the news. We literally say that. I mean, who says that in any day and age now? Everybody wants you to be connected and to stay up to date, right? And to be really in with things. And there's that FOMO, fear of missing out. We need to know exactly what's happening. But here we say, 1 second, how about you isolate yourself for a minute from all of that? You take a whitening period. You take a cleansing period where you just strip yourself from all of the noise and all of the nonsense that's constantly going on. Because you'll walk into houses sometimes and the news is just on as a background noise, just, buzzing in the background. People are used to it. They love it. It makes them feel at home or whatever, or up to date or whatnot. I have family members, that's how they live. And once you strip yourself of that, you are very sensitive to that. You're sensitive to the noise. You're sensitive to the constant chatter. And what that does for you in turn is it slowly gets you deeper into the layers of who you are. And you can begin to discern the noise in your mind, in your body, in your life, and how you go about moving through your day. And I started by talking about the different alchemic stages. There's and this is pretty old wisdom. This is Hermetic wisdom, which I told you that I love. It's part of the big work, the magnum opus. And, it starts with the blackening into the whitening, then the yellowing and the purpling or the reddening. It just depends on how you look at it, which is, the purpling is that last stage where you rise with compassion and you want to share your wisdom with the world. And you have this, it's symbolized to like a golden heart, and that's what you want to give and share to the world. So there is definitely, something to look at and learn from in this process. And I think that even though this is, more ancient work and in a specific type of philosophy, there's something that we can pull from it and look at our lives and about how we go along. And especially in days like this, right? There are going to be days like these for everyone. There are going to be days where it's just like, okay, stay quiet, stay at home and observe. With the low-hanging system, we ask you every day to find some quiet time. We want you to sit quietly with yourself and visualize, meditate. So you're able to discern the chatter from the noise. So you're able to, connect with yourself on a deeper level. Yesterday, there were questions on how do I know? How do I know? By starting to get into these deeper spaces with yourselves where you're having these dialogues, these clear cleansing dialogues that are not clouded by a lot of chatter and not a lot of noise of what is he doing? What is she doing? Where are we going? What are that it's not a to-do list or a checklist. It's more of a coming inward and purification. That's a great word for the whitening, the cleansing, a purification. And so we can use this idea of purification for thoughts. We can do it for, what we already said, eat, drink, the way we move, how much movement do we introduce into our body? How much do we not? Do we even know how to sit still? If you noticed how many children today, it's really difficult for them to sit still. And, so much so that, they bring in all the bouncy balls and the fidget tools and all the things, but hello, we also need to learn how to sit still, even if it's not for a long period of time. That's okay. As long as we're able to discern, okay, this is my movement time. This is the time where I'm getting up and going. And believe me, I'm a very active person. If I can work out, do different workouts 3 times, 4 times a day, I'm on it. So, this is not in any place to say, be still. No, definitely get moving for sure. However, still know that you can find that space of quiet, of distilled energy, of that essence of what matters most to you. Often people know, what they don't want or what they don't approve of or who they disagree with and on and so on and so forth. If it's politics, maybe they kind of know who they agree with as well. But oftentimes you'll hear the voices of those that, they disagree with this or they disagree with that. But, do you know what you stand for? Right? Do you know what matters most for you? Do you know what, you would, do anything for? And if you do, great. That is like your pillar. That is something that can guide you forward as you move through these choices and really try to navigate the best life for yourself, for your family. All right. I feel like I can talk about this for a very long time, but there are already two hands up and lots of comments in the chat here. So this is great. So that means I sparked a lot of interest. Let's go ahead and listen to Susan. Susan, share your ideas with us.
Okay. So the talking about the stillness and reminds me of fasting, how sometimes you just have to take a couple days and just fast, literally food, whatever, and put yourself in a quiet space for a day. And the what feeds my soul, when you said what feeds your soul, is like the color and being creative. And that's why when I saw Rachel's ad pop up, I was in such a place and trying to do other things and to make money, and it just was not it. But then I saw Rachel and creating these mugs, and of course it's endless possibilities. And that's why I'm here, to feed my soul, to let out the creativity, to like my quilt that I made, it's all batiks, different colors, strips, stripes, and it's like it feeds my soul. So
Love it.
thank you.
I love it. I love it. Yay. And it's exactly, I'm a strong believer in fast. I used to fast for very extended, periods of time.
Mhm.
And then, I think that things change, just like Amber was putting in the comments, there was a point, but what it does, let's first say the positives of that, right? What it does is, it gets you out of that noise of grabbing for something. I need to be eating, I need to be doing, I need to, you're like constantly reaching for things. And that goes out because you have nothing to think about. You're not eating, you're not, that's it. You're still, and you're allowing your digestive system to settle. And I still do believe in fasting, and I always do the intermittent fasting because I like that. But I think there is something to be said. You can't push your body too much. Like there has to be a good amount of that, and you can't, starvation is not a thing. Okay. That's kind of like, and I never reached that point. I'll say I never, ever reached that point, was never in any danger or anything like that. But, there is a point where your body's kind of asking for that freedom to just taste, explore, do, you know what I mean? Like that kind of situation. So that was just my personal journey with that. I think everyone is different. And I know that so many people are listening to this call, so I don't want to encourage anyone to do anything that is too extreme for their body or anything like that. Water is always a good thing, and we can always eliminate slowly. It doesn't have to be so dramatic as, fasting everything off, and everyone just should explore. I think anything introduced to the body at a in stages where you kind of just check, it's good because it gets you in tune with what is right and what is not great for you. Just like Amber put in the chat here, and I think it was beautiful. She said, she had to go vegan over a year ago because her body just decided to stop digesting animal protein. So that is like her being in contact with her body. I've been a vegetarian since I'm 11. So for me, that was, it's just the way that I live, and my family, lucky enough for me, all join and love it. And so, but what I'm trying to show here is just how she was able to communicate with her body and what's right for her. And so we're all going to be different. We're all different. And so we have to allow ourselves that space of exploration. So I just wanted to, pull that from what you were saying, Susan. Thank you for sharing that. And how beautiful colors and creativity, right? As I was thinking about this topic, it is about, I was thinking, wow, we could also talk about how colors make us feel and the sensations. There's a whole, color therapy, and there's a whole philosophy around that. And just, but you brought it in just a beautiful way of just being creative, allowing your creative juices to flow, and allowing yourself to really experience the things that, feed your soul, that make you happy, that make you shine. There's a lot of other comments here going about diet, and I love it because it's part of our self-awareness. We're embodied in this physical body. We cannot ignore it. So the things that go in, they make us, and they do affect how we feel and how we think and all of it. Water is crucial. Eddie, the wonderful Eddie Smalls.
Hello, everybody. Our illustrious facilitator, Karen. This thing about transforming and from one thing to another, I mean, that's a recurring theme in everybody's life. If you're trying to get a grip on what life's all about, because life is about change, and you're always changing. And the trouble we get in is when we start trying not to change, because there's a lot of people that just, I don't want to change. Well, you're going to change whether you like it or not. I mean, come on. I don't look 14 anymore. I don't look 24 anymore. And I seen some pictures of me when I was a teenager, and I go, gosh, that was me. hair's different, everything. I started drawing stick people in school. I don't know if y'all can see this. I don't know if you can. or not.
Wow. It's gorgeous,
But
Ed.
But I just started, I started drawing stick people when I was sitting in the principal's office.
Trisha wants to see it again. 1 second. She's putting her.
Well, that's all right. Anyway, I'm showing that, but it was a gift that I discovered out of toughness. I just started, I looked in the comic books and started drawing the pictures, but it kept me out of the principal's office. I was changing at 8 years old from a little miscreant, like Karen was talking about, kids are fidget. I'm still a fidget. And I mean, that's what they pulled me to the side and talked to me about on a job. I'm always doing something, as opposed to what? The body will go to age 100 doing something. That's it. Unless you're comatose, you're going to do something. Your job is to get your brain in gear and control it. Now, this LHS system, and I keep going back to this, I know why Rachel Rafay, I really got an idea how she came up with this, because she got disgusted with cash registers and Walmart. And in particular, that culture. And I'm looking at it and people make a joke. When we gonna get 8 on cash register? I said, well, you won't do that. What you mean? You got to know, I'm good where I am. And forget it, because I've done enough of that. But see, courtesy seems to be thrown out the window now. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but it seems like that. People just use the wildest language. See how careful I'm with my words. I've trained myself to be like this. I'm being respectful of our facilitator. I've turned into this. I'm a person that was always was punished for talking too much, and I'm trying not to talk too much. But Spirit is saying, Eddie, you got too much to say not to talk. See, this low-hanging system can change your life dramatically. I'm talking about you would change. I don't mean financially. That's just part of it. You will become a different person. I mean, I'm on Zoom calls talking to a crowd. I don't even know who you are, except I'm looking at your faces. And this terrified me 2 years ago. I would never do this. And I got a breakthrough that just made me break out in tears, and I transformed right there in front of that whole crowd. Because the coach asked me something and he sideswiped me, and I went, oh my gosh. When I answered the question, I broke out in tears, but it was supposed to happen. Let what's supposed to happen by going through life. Don't force it. Do what you're supposed to do, and the answers will come from the universe. Do meditate every day. I do it every day. I started it in college, transcendental meditation. I started it in college. It got me through all that stress, but I found out that's something you need to do regularly, because you're connecting to the divine. It's a one-way. You don't need any middle people. You talk straight to the divine, call it whatever you want, and you'll be shocked what's going to happen. Then you'll get past being shocked. You'll start expecting it. And when you start expecting your business to grow. Expect to learn how to market. Expect to know how to do paperwork. Expect people to show up to teach you things that you want to learn. Expect that, and you will get expectancy in a way you won't imagine. That's what I'm here to talk about right now. And it sounds like I'm about to crank it up, but I'm gonna cut it off, because I really can do this. But I'm always fired up when I get here, because I asked for it and it comes. So y'all, be patient, be courteous, and remember the journey you've been on. It's gotten you to this point for a reason. Thank you for the opportunity to commiserate with you. And it's been a wonderful day, and it still is. And snow on.
I love it, Eddie. I love it. And I love how you're talking about your own personal transformation, that started with that whole idea of alchemy, and you're showing your journey as a child, even the development of your artistic skills. Look at that beautiful picture that you shared with us. I was blown away. Really, really amazing. And your speaking skills, as you say. And so it's just it's an honor to be here with you and to witness that and to share that with you, and just to hear all the wonderful things you always have to say about the low-hanging system, about this process, about this community. It's really not something to take for granted or to take lightly. It's something to celebrate every day. And so I'm really excited that we get to do that. I saw Carlos come online. Carlos, hi. And Pat's back, and Roxana's here, and Liana's here. Fantastic. Scott.
Good morning, Karen. Good morning, everyone. Eddie stole a bit of my thunder, but that's okay.
It's always good. Complimenting each other.
No, it's very interesting. Eddie was talking about meditation and so forth. I think part of the equation here is to separate yourself from everything, and also sometimes from everyone. And that fasting process can be a mental fasting. You can be in environments which do not resonate with you, but you need to be there for some, obviously to make money or whatever it happens to be. But separating yourself from that can be very, very enhancing for your soul. And I think with meditation, the same sort of thing, when you extract yourself from everything, even your conscious mind, if you can, you become the observer. And in doing so, at that level, your true self, your inner self, your intuition, your spiritual self has a chance to bubble to the surface, and you can get in touch with the deeper part of yourself than you normally do because you're so distracted. I think also the reverse side of the separation is also concentration. What I do sometimes, I'm sure you've heard the term brainstorming. When I come across an idea or something that I think is worth exploring, and I'm separating myself from everything and everyone, and then I would phrase the question, the issue, whatever it is that I want to focus on, and just focus on that for a period of time. Just restating the question, reformulating the question over and over and over again until my mind clicks into gear. And I can't do that if I'm distracted. I can't do that if I'm thinking about anything else or anyone else. And yet I've found great insights that way, because when you brainstorm and you do so in a very relaxed but very focused way, you come up with insights from your subconscious, if you like, or from your intuition or from a deeper part of yourself that can really guide you. And I think that separation of yourself from everything else and everyone else enables you to do that, enables you to focus on what's truly important, even if it's a particular issue or a particular question that's really bugging you or really getting into you, really bothering you. And you can come up with great insights. I mean, I did that last night when I went to bed. There's a particular issue about the way to formulate goals, for example. And I just focused on it so much. And I realized, and I came to an understanding of the emotional aspect of goals and how that was really pivotal to the formulation of goals, and how it's not an intellectual process and never was. And there are many levels to that. I won't go into it now, but because I decided to separate myself and focus on one thing, I think I had a bit of a few aha moments there, and it was well worth it. So I think the separation, yes, the prioritizing, yes, but also the focusing on what's truly important at that particular point of time can yield incredible results, which can sort of flow onto everything in your life. That's my 10 cents worth.
That aligns exactly with the whitening. That's stripping, distilling, purifying, getting everything distilled to its essence. But what I wanted to continue, which is the beauty of when you separate yourself from everything, you then realize how connected you are to everything. And that's the beauty, because it's that's polarization that leads everything in life, the push and pull, that even space. So when you feel like you are, just the one, then you know how connected you are to everything. And that's the beautiful yin and yang, the black and the white, the dot in the middle. So that's beautiful. This was fun. And this is giving me stuff to talk about for tomorrow, for our fun Friday. I like it that I already feel like what we should be talking about next. This is great. And anybody else want to share their ideas? There's some people here that I haven't heard from in a long time. Should I say the names or will they stand up? If not, that's okay. We will see you here tomorrow. We honor
Karen,
everyone. Yes. Deborah?
Pat
She
has,
said it.
Pat has her
I'd
name,
like to
hand
say
up.
something.
Oh, sorry. Did I not see a hand up? Deborah, but I
Yeah,
was
Ladonna.
Pat.
LaDon Henry wanted to say
LaDonna? Okay.
something.
Yeah, so I'll call on her right after Deborah. Okay. Yes, Pat. So then after. Okay, good. Here we go. Deborah, I missed you.
I
hoping
didn't
you'd come back.
have anything today. I was trying to let you
Okay.
know Pat Heron was waving her hand.
Okay. Oh, that's what you were saying. Okay, Pat was waving her. Okay. Pat, let's hear from you then.
Oh,
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
I wanted to pick up on what Eddie was saying about transforming. It's such a continual process. And I was reminded of my son when he was 3 years old. We were going to visit a relative who was in her maybe early 40s. And he did not want to go visit her because he said she was old. And I thought about it for a minute and I said, but you'd love to go see Granny, who was his great grandmother, and she was in her 80s. And he thought for a minute and thought, and then he looked at me and he said, Granny's not old. She just has years. And I thought, how, out of the mouths of babes. And that's what we have to do. We have to keep growing, keep ourselves interested, and, be curious and be open to all ages, not just stick with our own age group. Now I'm at the age where a lot of my friends, have passed. And if I didn't have friends, who were in their 20s, my grandchildren are in their teens, I could stagnate.
Right.
I could become old. But the other thing I wanted to mention was the fasting. Now, I have several health problems and I cannot do a food fast of any kind. My doctor put his foot down and said no. But what he did suggest, he said, what do you do most when you're relaxing? And my daughter-in-law was with me. I always take her to the doctor with me, and she said she reads. So what I do when I want to fast is I don't read for a day. And the time when I normally read is the time when I used to focus, on something. I wouldn't call it meditation because it's not really going inward with me. It's a time to look at all the aspects of my life and see where those minutes, like I talked about the nickels and the dimes, where those minutes are not contributing, to where I want to go. And it's a fascinating thing. One of the things I had mentioned, I don't know, it was yesterday or the day before, about living in two rooms. When you live in two rooms and there's somebody in one room who's trying to sleep or who's listening to a radio and somebody in the other room who's watching television, you learn to concentrate and focus. And I annoy people sometimes because I'm so focused that when I concentrate, whatever's going around me, I don't hear, I don't know. I had in that little apartment, I've had potatoes burning on the stove and the smoke, nothing impacts, my concentration. So it can be a good thing and it has its down points sometimes. But I think if we learn to focus when we need to, and we learn to keep ourselves open, to what other people have to offer us and what we have to offer them, it keeps us young and it keeps us vital and it gives us the energy to pour into something like, new business. I had to make a choice. I've been taking 2 classes, and I had to make a choice, and I decided, well, I'll put one of them on the back burner and just take 1 class. And then the rest of my energy, the time I put into homework and study, and attending class, I can now put into the business. So we weigh, we evaluate, we look for inspiration and mentoring, and we keep ourselves young because we're always changing.
I love it. I love it.
Thank
True.
you.
Oh, I'll mute you here so there's no background noise. It's finding that balance, right? I love how you use the word stagnant. I use that word a lot. We can't just stay, too much of one thing is not great, right? We mentioned that. And so if we're just sitting around and not doing anything, that's not great. But if we're always active and have no time for quiet time and no time to just sit and vision or just be quiet with ourselves, and that also is not great. So it definitely is finding that balance point, which is related to what Scott and I were talking about, that even push and pull, where you're, that middle point is zero gravity. That middle point is balance. That middle point is where harmony resides. That middle point is where life thrives, and not one part is doing too much and strained, and one part is overworked or neglected and atrophies, right? So that was a beautiful share. And I love hearing insights on your life journey. So really great that you spoke up again, Kat. Thank you for sharing. LaDon.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know how many of you have children, but in my teaching, in the last maybe 30 years, I have seen such a change. When we were little, we went out to play. There was no real structure. You might take dancing lessons or something like that. But my last years of teaching, I had to direct the parents, and I said to one who was talking about her kid and this and her kid and that, where's his blue sky time?
It's a good one.
And, she looked at me blankly like, well, you'll get in trouble if I don't have him in anything. I said, but
wow.
he doesn't have time just to be. How's he going to find out who he is and what he wants?
Right.
So if you have kids, keep that in mind. Okay, I'm done.
That's beautiful, because that is truly something that I think a lot of parents struggle. You don't want to let your kids be alone and just on their phones or computers or games, and then what, like you were saying, what trouble will they get into? They have too much time on their hands or whatever. So you want to kind of create a structure that is invigorating and entertaining and uplifting and all those things, and improving their skills. But definitely, again, that's that balance point where children need their downtime, and they need to just be able to sit and be quiet and not, I think the biggest word today is that bored. I'm bored. They need something to entertain them. There's a screen in front of their face, or there's something that they're doing. That's a really good point. We do a lot of hiking in this family, so that's what we do. We go outside and we, sit outside and hike and spend time in nature. LaDon, glad to hear from you. Glad you found that hand.
Yes. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it. He helped me out quite a bit. Good morning, everybody. This is my first meeting. And I've been listening to, everyone sharing things of that nature, and it puts me in the mind, we were talking about transforming. And, I had to look at my life in that moment. It's like, I can see all the transformations. Some of them make sense, some of them don't, as life does sometimes, but I'm a retired vet, I run for public office. I'm a journeyman welder. I own my own cleaning company, so it's like, for me, transforming is a wonderfully terrifying event. You know what I mean? It's that excitement that we feel, you're scared, but you're excited, you're nervous, but all these different things come into play. And what I've noticed about myself is that whenever there's a transformation period, that if it doesn't wonderfully terrify me, I know that I'm really not into it, right? So when I got into this, I am definitely excited. I like seeing a community to where not only do we talk about the business aspects, but we talk about the personal aspects, because that goes into any type of planning that we're doing as far as family, you know, vacationing, business, all of that is important to have outside ideas and interactions, you know. So I just want to take this opportunity before everybody disperse to say hello, thank you, welcome, and all that good stuff. And in a minute, I have 8 grandchildren. And I am going, I have 5 children. My oldest is 32, my youngest is 23. I have 8 grandchildren. And so they keep me very busy, but I'm definitely excited to get into this program and see the possible benefits and the avenues that it opens up for not just me, but my family as well. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Wow, that was surprising. I saw a lot of mouths go, you look like you're 30. So you're like, I have a child who's 30. Like, how did that happen? How does that work? Good for you. Thank you for your service. Thanks for speaking up and, you know, sharing your insights, and welcome to the Low Hanging System. We really do consider ourselves this extended family. And it's exactly spot on to what you just said. It is important. We're becoming these business owners. And I know you've owned many businesses and all the amazing things you've done in your life. But just like you started that transformational process, and it should put you, you know, with that little nerves, that fear, that excitement, that, you know, on your edge, right? You're growing on the edge of your comfort zone. If it feels just too at ease, then probably, you know, it's not really hitting you right. And so you were able to really speak all of that in such a beautiful way. And just, I love how you know, just gave us this full view of what we do here and how you've come into this group, and wow, we welcome you. It's great to have you here. Hope to hear from you more. Let's see. We got Terry. Welcome, Terry.
Hi, everyone. This is also my first time being in this group. And wow. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We lost your video. If you want us to see you, their beautiful face there.
Oh, second.
So it's right next to that mute button where you probably.
I'm clicking on it, and for some reason, it's not weird.
Whatever works. That's fine. You can just continue. That's
yeah,
okay.
I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I clicked on unmute and then I lost the video. I'll have to figure that out. Oh, I have to choose another camera. I'll do that another time. But anyway, just wanted to say that I didn't know what to expect with this group, and I'm just blown away, pleasantly surprised, and I'm thinking, wow, I need this every day. So I do want to thank you all for the things you were saying. And even Susan, you said something about creativity. I love colors as well. And yesterday I was on, doing some training, watching the computer screen, and I just started falling asleep, and I wasn't ready to go to sleep. And I thought, okay, Terry, we got to do something. And I love to make jewelry. So I thought, you know what, I'll just work on my jewelry project. And before I knew it, I just had so much energy, and it was like, wow. And we all, people have been talking about transforming. I used to think I had no creativity. I used to tell people that, because school takes it out of us. And I just, for years, never thought I had creativity until the last few years when I've started learning, making jewelry. And so I'm finding that creative outlet energizes me. And that's one thing I like about that attracted me to the Low Hanging System is the creative aspect of it. I've tried other things, other businesses that didn't work out well, but it has that creativity that gives you that energy. And so I'm just really excited about this. I'm excited to have found this group of people here. You guys are awesome. I'm telling you, just about, everybody that talked, they said something that really spoke to me, and I'm just grateful to be here. So thank you all so much for this outlet.
I see you, Patricia. Thank you, Terry. Thank you so much. Really beautiful to hear from you as well. Welcome to the Low Hanging System. And, just like I said to Ladan, you feel the energy, you brought it, you're sharing your excitement. And I love that you said, I need this in my life every day. we have it every day. So join us every day and please share your beautiful thoughts and your wisdom from your life. You know, I always say, I didn't say it today, I guess I was excited to get into the topic, but you know, there are never any wrong answers on these calls, right? It's all about sharing. And I love that you said, I heard so many great things from all the people that spoke. And I want everyone to hear that. Just know that sometimes you just say one word and it reshapes somebody's whole life. And it doesn't have to be, you know, this beautiful, exquisite quote that aligns perfectly with all the things. It doesn't, it really doesn't. It can be your share from your lifetime and something, you know, simple, the stories that Pat brings to the conversation every time, you know, it just really, it's beautiful and it inspires us all. I saw all the comments come in there. So thank you, Terry, for speaking up on your first call. And Don also, I know it can take people sometimes a while and that I really honor you and acknowledge you for that. So that's really, really awesome. Here's our Patricia. Finally, she's speaking up. We missed you.
Hello, everybody. I have a few direct people I need to say something to. Eddie,
Sure.
you are always an inspiration, and I really appreciate everything you say. You make me think about myself and what I need to do, not selfishly think about myself, but a way to help myself grow. So thank you. LaDon, I don't know what branch of service you were in, but I want you to know that there are a lot of us vets here. And this place is very much like your military family. We have your back. And for both of you new people or anybody else that's new in here, directly after this class is a group of people that get together. It's just a bunch of us. And if you have any questions, technical type things of how do you do the gear bubble or how do you put everything together and all that, go into that class. That's where you find it out. That's where everybody can help you. Plus, there is some groups that are in Facebook. I don't do Facebook, but a lot of people do. So please come to those classes. All you have to do is when this clicks off, then you just click to come back in, just like you did the beginning. Okay, and come meet everybody, say hi to everybody. And there are about 6 people in there that are truly, truly good teachers. And Miss Karen, I hate when I miss you, and I'm so glad to be back. And I want to say something else about Eddie said something about how everybody is grumpy and everything. And I've been thinking that too until yesterday. I went to Walmart, or as we call it here, the Walmart store. I have to put the in the front of it. And everybody was so courteous. I don't care who they were or what was going on. I was trying to get something off the top shelf, and I'm only 5'3", so the only thing I can do is stand up straight in a helicopter and run around. That was the only time I like being short. But I had this guy come up, and he was at least 6'7", and he walked up and then looked down at me and he said, "Ma'am, do you need some help?" And I said, "Yes." And I was pointing to him. And I said, "You are so sweet. Thank you." And he said, "Oh, my grandmother would be happy to hear that." So apparently his grandmother raised him. But everybody in Walmart was so kind and so sweet and helpful and cheerful. And you would think that even though everybody's so crazy because it's snowing here and we're all going to die if it snows over an inch. And so that they do, you know, they go crazy. But everybody, I like it when people are helping each other. And we've somehow forgotten to do that. And that's why when I come on here, I tell everybody this is my meditation time, because I can think about things I need to think about. And I don't think about that till I come on here. But I also know that if I need help, or if I need a friend, or if I need family, this is where I come to do it. Because all of y'all always have smiles on your faces, even if you're having a problem. You know, and I really appreciate that. That's, you talk about alchemy and transforming and everything. Y'all just don't understand how much I have since I started this group, since I started coming on here. It's made me a different person. And I too have had numerous jobs. I also had my own cleaning company. I was the 3rd largest in Texas for a while in the group that I was in. And but nothing ever hit me like this does. And I guess the creativity, Susan, you know, it's something that just your brain, you start using your brain again and you forget, you know, and true. Get your kids out there. Don't let them sit in front of a TV all the time. Let them get some sun. I remember my mother would not let us stay in the house. And if we got in the house, she'd say, well, I'll find you something to do if you don't want to go outside. And finding something to do was not fun. You know, I mean, we had things like Johnson wax parties where we had to put all the Johnson wax down on the floor, and then we get white t-shirts and slide all over the place. For us, that was fun. We thought we were playing games, you know, but Mama got her whole house waxed and didn't have a problem. Okay, I'm babbling now. But anyway, I hope everybody is having a good time. I hope your weather is good, and I hope your business is going well. And if not, who said expect it? Expect your business. Oh, Eddie, expect your business to go well, because it will. And whatever higher power you believe in, trust in that and think about it. That's my talk for the day. Thank you.
Beautiful, Patricia. I love it. And, you know, your testament is just to show what beautiful friendships have, you know, you've made by just showing up to the call. That's also, I was talking to a couple of students yesterday, and it's like, you know, some students join and never show up, you know, they just don't join the calls. And that is an option. You could do that. That is a choice, but showing up, each and every one of you. That's why I'm so like attached, you know, I'm emotionally attached to all of you, and I want to hear from you, you know, and I miss you when you're not here, because we have created this beautiful community. And yeah, you've taken it a next level. You have these friendships outside of here, and we have these support calls that I will talk about in just a moment, even though Patricia did a beautiful job about it. And it's a beautiful testament to what we do here. And so that's great for all of our new members to hear. And I thank you so much for speaking. I always love hearing you. And I have missed you. So great. This was fun. Tomorrow is Fun Friday, and I'm here again. Woohoo. I've been here all week, Patricia. You've missed it. John is on.
Somebody just asked me a question. How do you
I'm going to talk about it. Don't worry about it. I'm going to talk about it.
Okay.
Let me do my thing. I got it. I got this. No worries. So tomorrow is Fun Friday. So, you know, bring your pets, bring a joke, bring a success, bring a funny hat, bring something to start the day with a smile, you know, start the weekend with a smile on your face, and just have some laughs, share success stories. Of course, we will have a topic. I've already, I know what I want to talk about, because all of you were talking about it without even noticing. Everyone said it. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. I'll leave it as a surprise. And yeah, after this call. So as you know, I always say this at the end of the calls, I'm going to end this call right now. I'm going to click end. Your screen is going to go blank. If you come back to the same link that you came in to join this call, you will see that many of the students here just gather out of the kindness of their heart. This is not something that, you know, they're being paid for or part of the program or anything like that. It's just support from the students to the students. And it's just a fantastic group of people sharing their wisdom, their knowledge. You saw, and Scott was here with all the texts and giving prices. So you have questions, you're not alone. You have the support of this community. Come back to the call. I bid you all a wonderful evening or day, rest of the day, and stay warm wherever you are. I'll see you here tomorrow. Fun Friday.